Hey, friends. Welcome to Wasteland Wednesdays and another exciting episode of Vermin 2047. Yes! From Studio Agate. It has been great so far. We're on episode 8. Oh my gosh. How have we got this far without everyone just being eaten alive by weird mutated creatures? Speaking of mutated creatures, we've got an amazing cast, and I'll bring them right on. So, with Devious Dungeons, Forbidden Forest, and the coolest cats, my name is Phil. Hit like, subscribe, all that jazz, and welcome to the Dark Orb and Wasteland Wednesdays. Hello, creatures.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
What an introduction. Thank you.
What? An introduction? How are things? GM Neil, great to see you. It's been a while. It's been a week.
It's been exactly a week, yes. That's absolutely right.
100% exactly a week with no deviation whatsoever.
No. I'm all right, thanks. Yeah.
All right, it's good. It's a good place to start. Being all right. Yeah, Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Yeah.
That's an upgrade from all right.
Let's keep it average. Yeah.
Johnny, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am splendid and really excited to share once again that I can't remember anything about where we are and what we're doing. But there was something about kids that have some sort of enclave and giant hornets and other things. So if you know even less about what we're up to than me, just go back in time to our earlier episodes, of which there are 7 and not 5. 7. And check out the story so far of Vermin 2047. But for now, how do we deliver the episode? Who hasn't delivered the episode? Johnny hasn't delivered the episode to Neil yet. So Johnny, I'm going to drop the episode to you. Ready? And where are you sending it? Oh, yeah! Take it away, GM Neil from Paladin Roleplaying.
Thank you, Phil. So, the group has made its way to the slightly weird, frankly, forest village of the Silent Ones, a group of youngsters ranging from sort of 6, 7, 8 up to kind of early teens. All kids with this really quite fantastic forest settlement of tree houses and huts and bridges and rope ladders and they've been quite welcoming to you, although it's probably been quite a surreal experience for all 3 of you as they are completely silent. And in the last session, you all spent some time talking with them and really trying to work out what the hell was going on with them. And you discovered, among other things, Mono talking to the girl that healed you for your wounds. You established that they can talk, they could talk, but just that they choose not to. And they do that out of respect for Skull, who seems to be their leader. 12 learnt from speaking to Adrian, one of the missing children, and now not so missing, from the Aeolians village, Liar's son, that Skull was the first, the original Silent One, and he's their leader, and they talk a lot about this connection, about all being connected. And 12 also established that this connection with each other and with nature seems to be something that they were born with, and that the younger generations, some of them at least, just have this sort of instinctive kind of connection with nature. And then Ira spent some time talking to Skull, and established that he, or maybe you could say they, are not necessarily against the Aeolians by any means, but that they're not happy with the power station. They're not happy that the Aeolians are generating and using electricity, and his sort of viewpoint on that was that's part of the old world. You tried that, it didn't work. Now it's time for a new way. And we finished with Skull saying that he had some kind of sense, some vision or something that you three were coming, and that it was important, and that your little group and his bigger group are linked in some way. We didn't exactly know what your purpose was or what your role was to be, but when Ira spoke about the power station and said, well, we could talk to the Aeolians about it, Skull said, well, they don't speak, do they? But Skull communicated that maybe, he wasn't sure, but maybe that's why you're here. And that's pretty much, a bit more happened than that, but that's pretty much where we finished. You've all been healed and you've had a chance to rest. So we start with full pools, including, I think, the party pool would be refreshed. And I think actually Mono was the only one left with an injury, which was dealt with by the girl who healed you. So in fact, none of you have got any injuries either at this point. So you're feeling quite good. I guess you would. So you had some breakfast with the group, and then you spent some time kind of chatting and kind of getting to know them a little bit. And so I think we can say it's somewhere like midday or thereabouts. They seem quite happy for you to kind of do whatever you want, quite happy for you to stay, quite happy for you to head back if you'd like to. Don't forget Merc is with you as well, the younger of the two current leaders from the Aeolians. And she seems also to have, she seems to share to a certain extent some of this connection with nature that these kids have got. She finds it quite kind of curious and interesting. And yeah, you've got the issue of there are the two missing children. There's Adrian and Lisa. No, that's not right.
Alina?
So who is it?
I've got Adrian and Alina written down.
Alina, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, so Adrian went missing about 6 months ago. That's Liar's kid, and Alina some years ago. And they're both here. So you have the issue of what you're going to do with that situation, if anything. Adrian seems happy enough to be. Well, he did seem sad when you spoke to him about his mother, but equally he seems to have chosen to be here. So over to you, I guess.
Do you think it's worth talking to Merc, being the person who knows the most about the Aeolians, to see what she would do about the kids? Because I don't think it's not an easy decision just to say, let's grab the kids and take them with us, even though it would be a minor objective. 2 for the orphanage, tick.
Don't we have to kill their parents first, though?
I'd advise against that.
Are they technically? Yeah, they think they're dead already. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing, because the parents think they're dead. Is it worth bringing them back to them as tree people?
I was going to say, do we know how?
So I think it's a trade people.
we could trade them, but yeah, no, tree people.
Do we know how the Aeolians feel about mixing with the? Because I believe they've tried to sort of remain reasonably well hidden from the other group. Do we know how Because for me, it's a case of, well, I've been talking to Adrian. Sorry, 12 been talking to Adrian, and I can see that Adrian misses his mother. He, like you say, we can see that he's chosen to be here, but he does miss his mother, and I'm sure his mother misses him. So for me, it'd be a case of, well, can they meet? Can they go do stuff in the day, or just sort of visit? I think his mother wouldn't want to pull him away from.
But maybe
years
before
of where he's
leaving,
happy, but-
maybe before leaving, it's worth asking Skull why they stay so hidden, and if they would work together. Unless it's just an aversion of the. Well, no, because it was before the power arrived, wasn't it? As well, they were hidden.
Yeah.
Because I don't really see that as Ira. I don't really see the issue of the power because it's not using resources like fossil fuels and stuff. It's generated from a wind turbine, which is relatively energy clean.
Is this the same thing? Sorry, because from my understanding, I think that they've got the wind turbine, but there's also a power plant that they're trying to get up and running. Have I got that? Because we found plans, didn't we, on that?
We haven't done anything with the plans, though.
Exactly. They don't perhaps know that we know that there's a power plant in the offing.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, we haven't told them about it.
So if we did want to side with the Aeolians, we could just perhaps go blow it up, and when they're like, "Oh, we just had our power plant blown up," we're like, "Oh, what power plant?"
Yeah, so maybe the issue is the power plant, not the power they're getting for the lights.
I think so. I don't know how the power plants run.
Makes sense.
Sorry, question for the GM. From the plans that we have, can we tell how this power plant produces? Is it like a coal power plant or a nuclear power plant? So something that's potentially a little less, renewable than just harnessing the energy of the sun or the wind, or is it something that's a bit more detrimental to the environment?
Probably if anyone could. I'm just trying to think. So you're good with mechanical stuff. Mono's good with electrical stuff. I don't know if it quite falls under.
I think it would more be mechanical.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
probably
have
closer to it.
a speciality in engines. I don't know if that works as a.
Turbine is an engine go backwards.
Engines produce power through use of a fuel.
I have one in technology.
Would I know that? Oh, this is the, intake manifold, and so that must mean it's a.
Well, let's give it a roll, but I think it's gonna. Well, and I think I'm happy to call it. Well, let's say technology actually, because we don't have to say necessarily mechanical or otherwise. It definitely comes under technology. So, in which case, that would put it as Mono's.
I was going to argue, yeah, because would 12 even recognise a nuclear symbol, having not been around before? The energy was lost.
Yeah.
Where Ira and Mono might recognise some symbols.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Symbologist.
Yeah.
Does mean finding the dice.
I think this is going to be knowledge plus technology.
Well, it's a good thing it's me rolling as Mono and not as myself. Right.
This
okay.
Definitely a 9. It's going to be target 9.
Okay. So I've got 2 dice in knowledge.
2 required.
And where's my technology? 2 in technology, and I get a reroll. I will also. Oh, my nerve's quite. Did we get nerve restored? I can't remember. My nerve and my strain are both screwed. As of my character sheet. All right. And then I'll take a couple out.
Okay.
From nerve.
Go on for it.
Why not? So it was 2, 2. Actually, I'll take 1 out from nerve, and then I can always come back for strain, can't I?
Yeah.
Well, that was really worth it.
Is that a dismal fail?
I got a 7, 2 5s, a 4 and a 1.
Ah.
Did you re-roll?
Yeah.
Not yet.
You're
I'll
holding
re-roll the 1.
down. I think.
I got a 9.
Okay. You
Um,
need 2 9s though.
yeah, I know. Shut
Can,
up. I'll burn the strain.
do we have something that's our party thing? I seem to remember
Yeah.
if we get, I can't remember if we get a success or something, and
No,
it's
that
a party
was-
trick.
Yeah, that was.
yeah, what was that?
all together? Out of
we
that
We can
thing.
spend a strain
You spend a strain.
to give a success.
That's right. I've only got 3 strain left, so
And
Would you
just
not
before
all
we
go
forget,
refreshed?
what was the skill we chose as a group skill? Do you
are
remember?
currently on psychology.
Cool. Brilliant.
Yeah, we've slept since then.
Yeah, but your
No.
pools have refreshed, Johnny. You're up full.
I'm not. Part of me like doesn't want to say anything against the GM, but last time, sorry, dear. I think because I'd taken a couple of wounds being stung by those hornets, and then so while we did get refreshed, and I had to take a -1 on the, was it both of them or strain? We sort of worked out at the time, and then
yeah, you're right.
I woke
You
up and
spend-
I was just slightly, and then I had to spend a lot to take off the
Yeah.
knock off the two wounds, minor wounds. So I'm
Okay,
quite
I've
low
spent-
having strain.
That's
So
Very, very
so
honest.
I've spent 2 strain and I've spent 1 nerve and I got 2 9s. There you go.
Okay,
Problem
Job.
solved.
cool.
Congratulations, you've discovered that there are no symbols.
Yeah,
Why, yada.
you're actually looking at a blank piece of paper. Okay, so as far as you can make out, because it's reasonably complex, you think that, so having visited Al, the mechanic, in his little caravan where he's got, and he gave you a brief tour around the essentially battery station, really is what it is, there, where they can save or store some of the power from the wind turbines. Having visited there and then looking at the plans, you realize that the plans are for an expansion of that, what is currently little more than a shed with some batteries in, to incorporate a number of means of generating power, including more batteries for the storing of it. So it will still be connected to the wind turbines as it is currently. And it seems like what they've done is they've basically gone for as many options as possible to allow them to generate power in as many ways as possible. So essentially, they're going to have a like a petrol-powered generator. They're going to have the wind turbines. They want to try and get some solar rigged up, but nothing much bigger scale than that. So it's certainly not in the kind of big nuclear or coal power station kind of.
Yeah, but they're still hedging their bets.
They're hedging their bets.
Overdoing it.
Yeah.
Oh, looking at this blueprints, I think, well, basically, it's a way to expand what they have already. There's nothing that looks too much like a grand nuclear plant or, enormous power facility, but they will certainly not be taking the renewable approach to energy generation. I think maybe it's not the most friendly way for the forest.
I see. So
Those-
could we suggest? I mean, using our expertise, could we make it more friendly or economically friendly for the forest environment, things like that, or because I would really like these two groups to get along, but I don't think that while they are using or trying to generate power by any means possible, I don't see that this is perhaps feasible.
Hmm.
So perhaps if they can learn to live in unison, a little bit of acceptance on both sides, perhaps it would greatly benefit both of the groups.
How was the kids getting light at night? Was it just fire, or was it something different? So I'm wondering, can we not, if they had a source of light, like, I don't know, magical mutated fireflies or something?
I think it was more bioluminescence, or perhaps, like you say, fireflies or something. I'm not sure if it was living creatures or if it was like a mold or a sap from a tree, but it's obviously, I mean, this skull seems to know, what the forest wants. It seems very in tune with the earth.
Well, those folks down at the the village down the way, they need safety, and that to them comes in the form of light. That's all they're currently after. They don't have the means to generate power to start a factory or anything. They're not gonna start another war or anything. They just want to be able to see where they're going in the dark and feel a bit safer. If we could get these kids to help with that without using the power, they could use the resources they're putting into the power instead.
Yes, yeah. I think they want the power for things as well, like perhaps hot showers and stuff. So, but perhaps if it's generated, by solar, perhaps this would be acceptable to Skull. Perhaps we should speak with him before we make any more decisions.
There's no harm in asking him.
It's very difficult, though, to make the panels for solar.
So they can keep using the wind energy for now.
Yes, exactly. Maybe the wind energy would be better.
Maybe they could use the parts from the big ones to make a smaller turbine, maybe. They don't need these grand things from the bygone times. They could make something smaller, maybe. Apply the same principle. Get somebody smart enough to maybe fiddle with some machines, create some tech.
It's possible, but I think when we went to see it, that we couldn't seem to work out any way that we could fix any of the ones that had been damaged and broken. So I'm not sure if this is a feasible expansion on the wind side. That's not to say we can't be able to salvage the parts from other places, but I'm not sure that we can expand the wind areas.
It's a compromise, at least. Both sides have to work together here if they're going to proceed. Sure. Let's go talk to Skull at least. We should ask him to try and get rid of the hornets from that part of the forest, and then they could start a hunt again and get back to their normal lives without being afraid of the hornets. That'd be a start. And we get your drone back as well.
Okay, well, let's go speak to Skull then, quickly. See what his problem is with the power plant.
Hey, Skull, what is your problem?
Hey, if we can get Merc to come along with us, maybe she can do the talking, because she's a representative of the other group, officially speaking.
I like this idea. Very good.
We'll just sit back and watch the GM do the talking.
Exactly what I was about to say. What do you think? Well, I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, well, Merc, of course, is up for that, and she's sort of, she's not a woman of many words, but she's very much been sort of partaking in the overall discussion, and she's been having her own little chats with some of the silent ones as well, and trying to suss them out just exactly as you are. And so when you kind of come together and give her your plan, she's definitely personally she's definitely open to some kind of compromise, and I think she'd very much agree with Ira that at least what they're doing at the moment is very environmentally sound. It's not causing any pollution or any damage to nature or anything really, and that very much that she sees light, and the other thing is heat. They want to try and get some heat for the winter. Those two things as being some of the sort of base necessities of just of life, really. Not even civilized life, but life in the harsh environment of post crash. And having one of these slightly difficult half-signed conversations with Skull, it seems that he's I'm not say hard line exactly, but he doesn't particularly like the idea of electricity, full stop. But he does sort of concede that what the Aeolians are currently doing is a world apart from the what he sees as the disastrous way that technology developed prior to the collapse. So he seems like he's, although it's not entirely happy, that he's open to sort of explore those ideas and what maybe might happen. And just as this is sort of taking part, and you're all kind of watching and kind of joining in a little bit here and there where you can, he suddenly, Skull this is, he suddenly in the middle of sort of explaining something, he suddenly stops and he frowns and he sort of gazes off into the distance and he pauses just for a few seconds, and then he looks quite alarmed, and he grabs Merc, who's obviously right in front of him. He sort of grabs her by the shoulders and he sort of shakes her a little bit, and he points roughly in the direction of where the village is, and then he quickly signals something that well, actually, why don't we get a roll to see how well you can interpret the what he's trying to say. I think we should probably just have one roll, and it's gonna be Ira for sure, who's gonna be the best. So let's get from Ira a empathy plus psychology, please. Difficulty 7.
Okay.
No, actually 1. Handicap of 1 because it's rushed. So you need 2 successes.
I did quite well. I got 3 successes, and it's our skill for the day.
Yep.
So it makes it 4 successes.
Piece of cake in that case.
Yeah.
So you very quickly pick up on what he's trying to convey, and he's using some kind of signs, some signals that seem to say something like horde. Maybe horde is the closest, or swarm, something like that. And he's gesturing towards the village, and he's telling you, all of you. He starts off just with Merc, and then he's kind of including all of you. Basically, you need to be quick. There's a horde on the way to the village.
Well, hot damn, let's go. Everybody on. I'm going to press the turbo button.
Just to be clear, is he coming? Does it look like he's assembling his running his troops to help? Or is he just saying, "Look, there's trouble over there"?
It's more like this is a warning for you.
Mm.
You are, remember, some way away from your van.
Yeah.
My
We're like an
bad.
hour away.
Yeah. So he.
Do we know how?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, did we get an idea of how soon this horde is going to get there? Is it like they're going to attack in 5 minutes kind of thing, or is it?
Yeah, might as well not bother.
Yeah.
He doesn't know exactly. He's just seen.
Useless.
He knows that something's on its way.
I see. This is more like a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like a kind of like a sense. Or,
Preeminence, is it sort of?
yeah, exactly.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. So I guess he is not readying the troops to come with you, but he will, of course, send a group of people to show you back to your van, and, if necessary, keep you safe from predators or animals or indeed hornets on the way to the van. But aside from that, it's like it's your battle, not ours. But here's a warning. That's the kind of vibe.
Did we get the sense that it was hornets, or did we get the sense it was more like boars or something else? Because I imagine him going zzz, like that would be pretty obvious that it's not a boar. I just don't want to be asking for.
Neither. He doesn't know. He knows that something. Well, not a thing, but a group of things is on the way to the village and has hostile intent.
Okay. So was it Merc that produced that stuff that kept the ants away?
Yes.
And she's been away for a little bit. So it could even be ants. Perhaps.
But didn't Skull also say it wasn't the smelly piss BO mixture that was keeping him away?
He did, actually.
It was just pure psychic energy, I think.
And probably Merc would have, as you were all talking to different people, Merc would have been investigating that, I think, with the group, and she'd report back that that they seem to think that it's not even her. It's not like even necessarily her smell or anything like that. It's literally her, and that they believe that she has the same connection with nature that they have. She just hasn't really sort of realized it. And so when she goes out there and visits the edge of the town and sprays all the stuff around, she might as well not even spray anything. Just her going there and having some connection, and it's almost like she's telling the ants don't come into the town, and they don't, in a similar way that they can kind of communicate with nature. That's what they believe anyway. And she seems a bit doubtful, but you can see that it's really opened her mind to some different possibilities and things she's never really thought about before. But anyway, yeah.
Maybe when this is all over, she should come back here and she could be the go-between.
That would be very clever. I like that idea. But I don't think we have time to dilly-dally. I'm not sure we are going to get the silent ones to fight with us or to help us, but perhaps, I mean, if it is the ants, perhaps just us and Merc being back at the village might help. If it was the ants. If it was the hornets, we've already got this one that with that sap from the tree that we can use to disincentivize them from coming towards the village. I don't know if we can borrow another one or two from Skull if he's amenable to it. And then if it's the boars, perhaps we just have to fight them.
If it's the sap, can we just put the sap on us and get them to stay away from us?
True.
Does it have to be one of those little whirly jig things?
I think it like puts it into the air, sort of makes it so that when they're flying, they don't like being in that area. I mean, we could put it on ourselves, and then perhaps we'd be safe. But perhaps the other villagers would be a bit less fortunate. Anyway, can I motion to Skull? 12's going to motion to Skull, with the things. Can we can we borrow a couple? She'd probably be like, like every English person that just never bothers to learn the other language of the country they're visiting goes, just, I'll be louder and they'll understand it.
Yeah.
Can we borrow some of these, please?
Flaming handbags?
Yeah, I think he'd agree to that. Yeah. So he nods, and then in this sort of spooky way of not communicating that they have, a couple of them just sort of appear from out of one of the huts with let's say another couple, so you've kind of got one each. Well, there's three more, one for Merc as well, and then you kind of just hands them over, and then again so a little group have gathered around now. And you notice they've also got some hanging from their belts, and they're sort of getting ready, it seems like, to show you the way back to the van. And he wishes you good luck and says, I think you need to hurry.
Let's move then, and just convey a great thanks to Skull. However, I feel that was appropriate. So 12 might sort of like to do like a little sort of bow, thank you, maybe even a handshake, and then sort of hurrying along, readying it. This way, which way? And
so he just gives you a little sort of nod, and a knowing smile, and then this little group quickly head off into the trees, sort of just looking over their shoulder to see that you're following. And they just so Ira saw this the first time when they took you here, but the other two of you didn't. They have this incredible way of moving through the forest, as if they're completely at home there, which I suppose really they are. And they sort of hop over boulders, and they swing from branches, and they don't seem at all like the forest doesn't seem to put up any barriers to them. They just seem to know exactly where to step, and when to duck, and when to run, and when to stop, and so you three do your best to follow them, and they're conscious obviously of Ira's wheelchair and finding wider, more accessible routes. And you can tell they're kind of going out their way to find spots that the wheelchair can follow. And so you feel quite blundering, probably, in comparison to their light-footed kind of leaping around. And you notice there's always a couple on the edge who are being really alert to the forest around you, obviously checking for hornets or other things. And just once in the journey, about halfway through, they suddenly all stop, and they kind of motion you to stop, and you hear something, sounds biggish, moving. You don't see anything, but they have obviously they spotted it way before you could hear it, and they just wait, and you kind of hear it moving on in the distance, and then they can say, okay, let's go. And you carry on, and before too long, I mean, it does take you best part of an hour, but you find yourself back at the little clearing where the trail starts, just off the road, where the van sits perfectly happily, apparently untouched, just as you left it. And they just hold back at the edge of the forest, and as soon as they see you kind of going up and unlocking the van, they just disappear. Within seconds, you can't see them at all. It's just forest.
God damn, we didn't get your drone.
Our drone.
We'll come back for it another time.
You could test out your new whirly jigs. Give it a go.
And I just I'll take out a
It
lighter
doesn't know.
and start looking around.
I'm already in the driver's seat with the engine running, and I'm like banging on the side, leaning out the window, going, "Come on, get in! We haven't got time to talk. Come on!"
Oh no, we're letting him drive.
Well, I'm not going to drive. I'm just going to. I'll get in.
Yeah, same.
So you make your way. You know, the road quality is not amazing, but I imagine you're kind of going for it as much as you can. That seems at least halfway safe to get back. And of course, you know the route is pretty much just one road, virtually just straight down. And so before too long, so probably now, remember it's only spring, but it's very hot. So the sun's come up. It's very hot in the van, and by sort of, I guess we're going to be looking at mid-afternoon-ish, you see the Aeolians town ahead of you. From a distance, everything looks kind of quiet and normal. But you sort of motor on as quickly as you can, and Merc's getting a little bit anxious. You get close to the gates, and there's a couple of people on guard, no one you recognise on the gates. They obviously recognise the van straight away, and immediately as you come in, they open the gates, and you see one of them kind of go around, turn around and call at someone inside. But they don't seem concerned. They recognise you, and they're like, give you a cheerful wave as you kind of pull in and pull up the van, put the handbrake on, and you see Park and Lyra and Laura walking relatively briskly towards you. And as you get out the van, Laura immediately steps forward, and the other two hang back ever so slightly. And she looks at Merc, and then she looks at you, and she says, "Oh, so you've come back. I must admit, I'm a little bit surprised." And then she looks at Merc and says, "Not you, of course." And she beckons Merc over. And Merc kind of trots over and just says a quick little whisper, only maybe a few words. And Merc kind of frowns. And then Laura looks at you and she says, "So, I guess you don't know anything about a missing key then?"
Well, like a key to a car?
"No. Key to my communications hut."
No, we've not even been there yet. We saw it from up on the hill, but that was it.
Well, it didn't seem in character for you, but the key went missing, and then you lot all disappeared into the forest. I kind of assumed that maybe you'd taken it and done a
Laura.
run. But
Laura,
then I saw you coming back.
I'm very concerned. We've got some reasonable, actionable intelligence that this village, this settlement is in danger, that there is going to be an attack on it. You telling me that your communications key has been taken makes me worried that it's perhaps not like an animal. I don't have really time to explain, but I think we should get the whole camp ready for an attack of some sort. I'm worried now that maybe it's raiders or something. I'm very concerned about this. I think we should begin making, getting the people that cannot fight somewhere safe, and the people that can fight start patrolling the area, setting up a perimeter, and watching out for any sign of attack. When we're ready to repel, then we can explain what's going on and where we have been.
She obviously looks very concerned, a little bit confused, and she looks over at Merc, and Merc just kind of nods, like raises her eyebrows and like, yeah. And she takes a minute to kind of settle her thoughts. She takes a breath, and she says, actually, at this point, another villager comes up. Someone you've seen, you haven't spoken to much, but you've seen around. Runs straight up to Laura. She's obviously in a hurry, and she says, sorry. She says, Laura, the door in the armory has been picked. Someone's been in and gone off with a load of stuff. And Laura looks even more concerned. She said, well, what did they take? And she says, a couple of pistols, a rifle, load of ammo, also a backpack and load of food and water have gone missing. We think it's probably Al. And she kind of narrows her eyes. And then she looks at you lot. And she says, we'll do as you suggest. It looks like Al might be behind this, whatever the hell this... I mean, I don't really know what's going on, but you've given me no reason to distrust you. And it makes sense to take precautions. You know Al, I think. Do you know if this attack is imminent? Do we have time to head up to the caravan and see if Al's there? Or should we stay put? What do you think?
If we send anyone to the caravan, I think it should be a small group of us. What I would say is perhaps Ira will take this group. Perhaps Merc would like to come with us as well, if you think you can spare Merc. But I think we should definitely be preparing the village for some sort of attack. We don't know where it come from. It could be the ants. Perhaps we should leave Merc here, actually, just to ward the ants. We know it's not the ants. Yeah, perhaps we'll head off very quickly up to the caravan. But I wouldn't waste any time in preparing everybody, making sure that this settlement is as safe as possible. What do you guys think, Ira?
Yeah, that makes sense. We can go up to see Al. I'm pretty sure it's not him, but you never know.
Yeah, he didn't seem like the type before, but you never know. Sometimes people...
The doc looked pretty shifty, like he wasn't meant to be here.
I think the doc was just not yet found home. But I'd like to think that not everyone is a crazy person that just wants to kill people who are different.
Why would they break into your communications room, though? Why is the communication room even locked is another question, but...
I guess it would give away the position. I mean, if he wants to talk to somebody outside of the camp, yeah, that would be the perfect place.
That's true.
Break in there, and I don't know, Laura, do you have any other insight? What was the equipment used for anything that you can tell, or a certain frequency left?
I don't know. I just know someone's been in there. The key went missing, and it was found by the greenhouses. I mean, I think it. Oh no, she hasn't found it. Scratch that. GM error. I don't know where it is.
I'm gonna go get the greenhouses.
Yeah, I got a 6 cents. It might be by the greenhouse. Sorry about that. She says, "Yeah, there's definitely been someone in there. It's impossible to tell if it's been used, but why? I mean, why would you go in if not to use the equipment?" And she said, I've been talking with another group some miles away, but yeah, potentially whoever was in there could have been communicating with, well, I guess anyone.
Have you managed to reach the other group recently?
Last time I spoke to them was we're not in super regular contact. We've been talking about maybe whether we can help each other with some bits and pieces. They're quite well equipped, and they say they can get hold of some electric cables, and that's exactly what we need. So I've been talking to them about whether we can do some kind of trade, and it seems like maybe we'll get some cables from them. But like I say, I haven't spoken to them for at least a couple of days now.
Do you trust them?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay.
I mean, as much as you can trust anyone.
Okay.
But she says, but let's hurry. I would like Merc to stay here to help me organize things. Park and Lyre must stay here as our two main weapons and tactics experts. We'll do as you suggest. We'll get people manning the barricades and on lookout. And if you can go, and I don't even know if Al's going to be in his caravan or if he's gone or indeed if it was him, but it's looking that way. If you could go and just check out and see if he's there, see what you can find, let us know as quickly as you can. That would be great.
Will do. Yes, let's move. And I guess we drive up there. Is it a driving thing?
It's not that
Sure.
far, but driving would be quicker than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll just hop back in the van, spin it around,
Straight back out.
straight back out. I think, unless you two do you want to do anything, Ira or?
No, we can drive. I would like to stretch my legs, but yeah, we can drive.
Sure. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. So you've been up there before. You know exactly where you're going. You've just got the little caravan, and then right next to it the kind of hut where the batteries are stored, with the power coming in from the power plant and back out to the village. So it only takes you a short while. It's only a couple of miles, so really quick to get up there in the van. And as you draw closer, you don't see Al immediately. The caravan, of course, is still there. The door's closed. The door to the battery hut thing is also closed and locked by the looks of things. What are you doing? You pulling up, getting out of the van, and heading for the caravan?
Yeah, we should probably knock on the door. He's got to get down to the safety of the town anyway.
So you pull up, you jump out the van, and as you get closer to the caravan, you hear Al's voice. It's definitely him from inside the caravan, and he says, "Keep away! I'll shoot."
And he's
Who went first?
shouting at us. He's shouting at us, isn't he?
He's shouting at you.
Aye.
Hey, what? Why? What's happening?
Just leave me be. Go back to the village. I'm leaving anyway.
But you have friends. Why are you leaving?
I'm just leaving. It's not the place for me. It's none of your concern. Just head back, and I'm almost ready to go. I'll be heading off shortly.
Ask him if he took the ammo. See if he took any of the supplies.
There seems to be some things missing. Have you stolen also from the village? If you ask, they give. I mean, why?
I haven't stolen anything. I'm entitled to. I've only took my fair share. I've done plenty of work for those folk.
Seems, well, as I said, I mean, why take without asking when they will gladly give?
Look, I didn't ask you to come here and judge me.
Not judging. I think these people are
if
weird.
You don't leave, I'm going to open fire.
That's a waste of ammunition, surely. We're not a threat.
Hey, 12. Hey, this is a
Yeah.
caravan, right? Can you see the block stopping it from rolling? We can just push it back down into the village.
It's very doable, I guess.
Wait. Does the truck have a tow bar on it? Maybe we can just tow it in.
He might shoot. Can I shout at the caravan? What are you going to shoot us with?
That's
I
not the
didn't see
caravan.
any guns when we were here last.
And he doesn't answer, but the caravans often have windows that open like that, so the window just cracks open like an inch or so, and what looks like the end of a rifle pokes out in your direction, and then he says, "Last chance."
Okay, never mind.
Well, I think we should go with the pushing it down the hill idea. If he doesn't want to come out, we'll take him to be judged by the rest of the group.
I'm not sure why he's why he's being so defensive in a way. I haven't got his motive down yet, unless he is the person that's stolen, the rifle and the pistols, and did take the key. Maybe he's in communication with somebody else, but that's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know. Part of me's like, has he actually done anything terribly wrong that warrants us possibly killing him?
Tell him we spoke to the kids in the woods, and they had a vision of a attack happening. He should come to the safety of the town. Maybe that'll sway him. If he's after perseverance, he wants to survive.
Should we ask him if he knows about the attack? Yeah, sorry. At this point, I think probably 12 sort of turned her back and made it sort of look as if she's going to sort of trying to shoo the others back, but she's actually just having a conversation. So, yes, perhaps we just ask him if he knows about when the attack is going to happen, and just see if he lets slip any information. Perhaps you would be the best to do this, Ira. You have a clever way about your words.
Yeah, when I try and talk to him, he goes crazy.
And he just points guns at me.
As a backup, though, I think you should all kind of tie up the caravan to the truck so we can pull it down the hill, though. Try and do that without him noticing or something.
I will try, but I'm not very stealthy. Perhaps you start talking, maybe to provide a distraction.
And I think at this point, as you haven't actually moved away, he's going to take a shot.
What a dickhead.
Fuck you, Al.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
A shot
down the hill.
He's aiming at... So, because the way you described it, Johnny, I'm thinking that you're actually closest.
Yeah, I'd be in between, protecting the time. Yeah.
So he's aiming at you, and I'm afraid you've got your back to him, you said. So I'm not going to give you a chance to dive out the way or anything. It comes as a bit of a surprise. What armor have you got?
I've got a rating of 2.
2, okay. So 1, 2. So you take. So you hear a shot ring out, and you suddenly feel this pain in your arm, like in the top of your arm, and you take 3 damage. So for you, that's a minor wound.
Yep.
And then he shouts out again. Clear off. I don't care where you go. Just get away from here.
I think at this point I look at Ira and down at my handgun, and then back at Ira again, and just kind of raise my eyebrows, kind of like, can we?
Well, I wouldn't waste the ammo. I mean,
he has some spares. We'll deal with him.
I would
Take
probably I'd probably see how gravity fares with him first.
Is it
Pull
on a
the
hill?
block,
I
stopping
mean,
them.
you're not that far away, and caravans don't have very lockable doors. So the other thing is you could storm so you could shoot at him, or you could storm the caravan.
I've just realised what Ira's saying, and I'm just going to kind of look down at the blocks that are holding the caravan.
Yeah,
in.
I'll wheel around to the side of it. Get ready to roll it.
Yeah, I mean
You'll remove the blocks.
you've got more
hopefully.
than one horsepower, so
Exactly. Yeah.
It's on a slight hill, but it's not on like a.
challenge accepted.
Yeah. I'm gonna start rolling it back down towards the village.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Mono is going to go for the blocks.
Does it look like it'll actually roll? I don't want to go for the blocks. And
I mean,
would 12 look at this and go, "No, there's no way that's going to
it
go"?
would need
point.
it would need a fair bit of pushing or pulling. It's not
Got a-
just going
got a
to
vehicle to
start
do that.
rolling off on its own.
It's true. Oh wait, we could just tip it. What kind of caravan is it? We didn't actually establish that. I'm imagining like a tiny little two-wheeler
Yeah.
thing.
2 wheels.
So we could just tip it up and he'd just fall over.
Yeah, it's not quite
and then he-
funny, is it?
Then he could storm in.
Still quite funny.
Caravan tipping.
Yeah,
That's what we do in the West Country. We ain't got no cows.
Do we have any like Molotov cocktails or anything? Anything we can make a
Yes, of course. I have one in my pocket,
for real?
just for this occasion.
Well, hold on. Screw that. If he's going to start shooting, let's just go for it. And I'm going to raise my rifle, and I'm going to aim
I
through the
told
wall
you.
of the caravan.
Yeah.
At where I think he is based on the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
So I'm
When
gonna
you
try
do
and just
that,
shoot
I'm
through
going
the wall
to
of
do the same
caravan.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not with your shotgun.
Well, let's do a quick initiative then, just to work out what order things are going to happen in.
I'm imagining it's being a bit like Pulp Fiction, where you just throws all the guns up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can I remember what this is? This is reflexes plus. I can't remember. Vigilance.
Vigilance.
Reflexes plus vigilance. So make a roll, see how many.
Oh, 3 successes.
Okay, 3.
What's difficulty? 7.
Yes.
1 success then.
1.
I hate to say it. Do I get any? I mean, I know I've just been shot, so I'll kind of. Do I get
so
any
you
bonuses
So you get a -1 because you've now
Oh,
got a
yes.
wound. You get a -1 dice on everything you do now.
That's right. And I don't get a -1 for the short-sightedness or the fact that I got my back turned.
It's more just your quick reactions. Is what we're going for.
I got an 8 and a 5. Is that a success with the 7? Is it 7? Yes.
7s. So you got 1. Yeah. Okay. So he didn't roll particularly well. So the order is Ira. Oh no, actually, you got 2. So it's Ira, Al, and then 12 and Mono together. However you like. So Ira first.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
think let's say rather than make a separate roll for working out where he is, let's put it all in the attack roll, but
Okay.
I'll just add a handicap.
Okay.
So it's accuracy plus firearms. You're at very close
4 dice.
range, so the difficulty is only 5.
Okay.
But we'll say because you've got to get the position just right, we'll say I think it's going to be a handicap 2, so 3
Okay.
successes.
Let's see. So a 1, a 3, a 6, an 8. I've got 1 reroll. Which gives me a 5. So I've got 3 successes. Is it
Okay.
worth trying to get another one?
So more
Can't
successes
remember.
for combat, or basically each success gives you 1 extra damage.
Yeah. No, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at 3 because I do
Okay.
4 damage. So that makes 7, right? From what I
Okay,
remember.
so that's still pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to call the caravan armor, in this case as well. So knock off for that. But you hear, it's pretty clear that roughly where he's going to be. So you aim kind of pretty much in the center, let off a shot. It passes clean through the caravan wall, and you hear a loud scream. You've obviously hit him. He immediately swings the gun round in your direction, and you catch a bit of his kind of head peering, sort of sighting down towards you. And he is going to let off a shot. So you can, because you know it's coming, you can attempt a sort of a dodge stroke evasive maneuver. It is your second action. So you've got a -2 dice because of that. And you also get a -1 because you're
Ability.
not very mobile.
Yeah. So it's -3 dice straight away.
Yeah.
And then
But
to
it's
dodge would be
still,
reflexes and
yeah.
was it brawl?
I'm just looking it up, I believe.
So right now I have -1 dice.
Okay. Maybe it's not worth it then.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying here. Defend actions. Dodging is reflexes plus ball. Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I think I will just take it.
Oh, or vigilance.
It would give me 1. No, it wouldn't. No, that'd be 3, so I have 0 dice.
No. So it's up to you. You can either not bother or you can use pool dice.
But to dodge, you need to beat the amount of successes they had anyway, which is a lot. Would be a lot of dice. Potentially.
Yeah, I'm not telling. I'm not, potentially.
So, yeah, no, it's fine. So I don't think it's worth. It's not worth the pool of dice.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
To try and avoid it, considering the armor I've got. That's why. Yeah. So I'm just gonna take it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, fine. So I'm afraid I did roll quite high. I got an 8 and 2 9s. So you take 6 minus your armor.
-4.
Okay, cool. So 2. So that is just enough for a minor wound.
Yep.
So again, I think that maybe just skims you. Maybe kind of gives you a nasty nick, maybe on the leg. 12.
Oh, god damn bastard. And I think I've probably heard that he's hurt and he's just shot Ira. I don't foresee a way that I can properly protect these two. My family, just by sort of standing where I think he might be shooting. So I'm just going to sort of turn around, sledgehammer, and just war cry, pelt towards the door.
Okay.
Just gonna smash the door in. I don't know if that gets me inside or if I can actually try to attack him or grapple him at this point.
I would say I think you're close enough because you weren't keeping a distance really. I think you're close enough to get in and make an attack, and I think I'll just, because it's a bit rushed and you're trying to sort of make up the distance, I think it will just be a handicap on the attack.
Okay. I have that. Sorry, I don't have it up. I think it was in the.
Predator, is that the one you're looking for? Guardian Wolf.
No, sorry. I think there's a thing where I can actually just grab him. I can grapple him. There's a different. Okay. I can't remember. I think it's actually in the core rule book, and I don't have that up right now.
12. Submission hold.
Yeah, how did that one work?
It's Vigor plus Brawl with handicap 1.
Sorry, Vigor plus...
And they also roll the same, so it's opposed. And if you get more successes, they're immobilized and suffer 1 cumulative light wound every turn. Oh no, sorry. If you
they have
fail,
to get
you're
out.
immobilized,
Uh,
and if you pass, they're immobilized, and they can only perform one action per turn, which is attempt to break free.
right.
Or you can just.
Would I? Yeah, tempting because he's just shot me. I think I've got to go for the submission because I think he, if I kill him outright, we're not going to get any answers, perhaps. Whereas if I've got him a submission, Mono can get in there with the gun, hold it to his head, and say, tell us what you know, sort of thing.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry, so it was.
Cool. So it's vigor plus brawl in that case.
Vigor.
And
Plus
it's the
brawl.
same as doing an attack that you can choose the difficulty level. 5, 7, or 9. Yeah. Choose before you roll, Jamie.
Would you consider this an attack?
Um,
Does my predator then kick in and I got a
I
1?
think it probably doesn't because it's a separate thing.
Yeah, fair play. And can I trade my -1 die for my wound with a +1 for strength as my speciality?
Yes, I don't see why not. Yeah,
Okay,
sounds fair.
so I've got 4 dice and a reroll.
Okay.
I'll throw 1 in for nerve, I think. So I can just mark that off. Actually, yeah, let's take 2 as nerve because I really need to succeed on this.
And what difficulty are you going for?
He's got to basically roll the same thing as he's rolling against.
Yeah.
It's a counter roll.
He's not. He doesn't look super strong. You reckon you've probably got a bit of an edge on him?
Yeah. I was only allowed to choose certain things. Was I allowed to choose the 9 or?
Yeah, you can choose.
You could choose 7, 5, and 9. Is that what I could choose?
Exactly those 3. Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to the group. Comment in this in the comments if you. I know we're not live, but I'd like to see what people do in my situation. What do you think, Chris and Phil? Should we go middle of the road 7?
I'd say middle, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
easiest.
Or should we go hard and?
You
Yeah,
want the successes then?
he can't lock out then and just get the 9, and I get.
Well, we can spend party dice.
True. Can we spend the party dice after I've rolled?
You can do before or after. So
Yeah, we can spend that
Yeah.
because we've got the symbiosis, haven't we? As well.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I could
and
spend.
We could spend.
I could spend some strain. I don't mind spending strain for an automatic.
Yeah.
success here.
I mean, basically, he can't do anything apart from try to break free.
Yeah.
After I've got him in this grapple hold, so
But
let
I'm
me roll what
spending a
I've got.
strain to help.
Excellent. So that's 1 automatic success.
yeah.
How many did you need?
rolling- It's just an
we don't-
opposed
we don't
one, so
know yet,
We
so we don't
basically
know
just
yet,
want to hold him up. So we're going with 7. I've got 2 6s. All right. So I've got a 10, a 7, a 9, and a 1. So that's 3 plus Phil's is 4.
Should have gone for the 9.
Yeah, that's 2, isn't it? But we did it that way.
Okay,
So
cool.
we've got 4 successes. I think that's
Is it worth one
do you
more?
think it's decent. Should I do one more? Oh, actually, you
Well,
know what?
I
I've got a
can give you
reroll.
the success. I can do it. I'll give
Hang on,
you.
I've got a reroll. If I reroll that 1
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and see what that. Oh, that's a 10 as well. So that's 5.
Yeah, 5's a good number.
5's pretty decent, isn't it?
Mm.
Giving it 5.
Yeah, let's leave it at 5.
Okay. So you.
Oh, I don't like that smile.
Door down. The door just goes hanging off of one hinge. You know, it's a caravan. It's pretty flimsy. You charge in, knowing that your friends, your family are in grave danger from this lunatic. And he obviously quickly he looks around and he starts bringing the gun round, but before he can even move it a little way, you're on top of him, and you just kind of closed quarters in this tiny little caravan. You just leap on him, and you're vaguely aware some kind of pans and bits and pieces are kind of going flying, and it's kind of clattering. And you he just falls to the ground. You're right on top of him. You suddenly find your sledgehammers in your hands, so you kind of push the sledgehammer down to kind of pin him, and he struggles a little bit. He's not a big guy. He puts up a little bit more resistance than you might have expected, but you quickly immobilize him, grab hold of his arms, and he kind of struggles, but you sort of knock the gun away, so it's out of his hand and kind of out of reach, and you've got him pinned. Out of interest, he was only rolling 4 dice, and he got a 9 and 2 10s.
Wow.
So if you'd have gone for 9s, he would have actually got 3 successes.
What a twat.
It's those
Yeah.
Paladin role-playing dice.
It is.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, cool.
Are we putting the link up?
Yeah.
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 Neil, just out of interest, how would someone find dice as fabulous as the dice that you're currently
Well,
rolling?
if you want to make sure you get 2 9s and a 10 out of just 4 dice, you should probably get some Paladin role-playing dice using the code DARKORB15 on your first order at paladinroleplaying.com.
But Neil, what if I want my dice to roll low because I might be running or playing an alternative game system, such as maybe Symbaroum?
Oh, well, they do that too.
Wow. Who would have thunk it?
Guaranteed success.
Exactly.
And failure.
Doesn't matter, high or low, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we
Sorry,
break?
that would probably be good, but let me just very quickly vamp, because I said I would. Guys, I've got him pinned. Get your asses in here. Help me.
Why do you always have to cuddle strangers?
But he's
Can-
so
can-
cute.
Can you all just bring him outside?
I'm not sure if my ability lets me do that.
Well, I'll just observe from out here if that's all right.
Sure. Mono, could I get some help?
And I enter the caravan, kind of trying to get over this guy, and 12 obviously as well. And the first thing I do is head straight for the cutlery drawer, and I think 12 remembers that my empathy is pretty low when I want to get answers.
Oh dear. So 12 wrestles Al to the floor. Mono charges in, slightly alarmingly, goes straight for the cutlery drawer. I think so. According to the rules of the
The cutlery rules. Oh no!
the rules of the cutlery drawer, according to the rules of 12's ability, in
I'll say
combat,
there's no knives in there.
you test every round to see if you can maintain the hold. But now that Mono's there, between the two of you, I think we drop out of combat, and we can definitely say that he's immobilized well enough. So he's still
Can I find
obviously
any cocktail
struggling.
sticks?
He's kind of swearing and like, "Get off me! Get off!"
Can I find any cocktail sticks?
Sure,
We know where this is going.
everyone has cocktail sticks, even in the
As I'm,
apocalypse.
leaning on Al, I'm gonna lean in. I'm just gonna say, if I was you, I'd answer all his questions.
I noticed that he's not actually got any shoes on. So I'll
Before
start
Mono
there.
gets too carried away, can I have a
You
quick
can't
look
see me.
around?
You're outside.
I'm looking through the door. Before I get too carried away, can I look around the caravan to see if there's a backpack with
There's a big-
supplies and food?
Why don't you say back
There's a
door
big
then?
attack plan on the
door.
wall.
Yeah, red string.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it look like he's actually stolen the stuff? That's what I'm getting at.
There is a big backpack.
Okay.
Then
I will not stop Mono.
Okay. And it's clearly there's some clothes kind of like it's been packed, but there's also some clothes next to it, and it's clear that he was in the middle of packing.
So 12, whilst you're kind of I imagine that he's on his back and you're just kind of on top with your arms across him now, sort of staring in his face. And you just hear from the other end of this guy's body, by his feet, you just hear, 12, ask your questions. He'll answer.
So, Al, is that your real name? I'm just wondering if we're dealing with a spy.
Well, of course, it's my real name. Get off me! Just let me go. I just want to. All I want is to get away.
You've just shot me, Al. Do you think you're really just going to get up and walk away?
I gave you warning, didn't I?
I stopped walking anywhere, and I'm going to grab one of the cocktail sticks, and I'm just going to put it under the nail of his big toe.
Al,
he's
what
obviously
do you
doing his
know?
best to jerk his foot away, but you hold it steady, and he squeals a bit.
I'm not pressing it terribly hard yet.
Okay.
So, Al, when is this attack going to happen?
Look, for fuck's sake, I didn't plan for an attack. This has all gone fucking tits up. Look, like they're fine, aren't they? The villagers, like they go on about all this, like sharing everything and all of that, and they do to a certain extent. But that Laura, I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. She has all this. She has these. Did you know she has these secret meetings? She's talking to some group out a little way back. She won't tell anyone what she's talking about, though. It's all hush hush. It's all secret. Doesn't share that, does she? Well, I overheard her, and she's making a deal with them. And everyone's supposed to get a vote, but for some reason nobody gets to vote about that. It's a secret thing. And so I thought, well, sod it. I'm stuck out here in this caravan. Maybe this other group can offer me something a bit better than I'm getting here. So I broke into the little communications thing, and I got in touch with them. And then he frowns and he goes, look, I fucked up, all right? I got in touch with them. I started talking to them. I was making a deal, and I was telling them what I could do, and they said, "Oh, it'd be really useful. We'll take you in," and it sounded really good. And I thought, yeah, I'll do it. I'll go for that. Only, I realised at the end, it weren't them. It was someone else I was talking to. Someone else. I don't know if I had the wrong frequency or what it was. I think it was the Raiders. And
The Raiders.
I told him, I mean, I was getting carried away, and I probably told him way too much about where we are and the defences. And so, look, we've got to get out of here. There's no reason why you guys can't save yourselves. Let's just go. It's the only option.
Why didn't you just tell them? You could still have left, but you could tell them and let them defend themselves.
They weren't going to just let me leave, were they, after breaking in and giving it away?
Tell them after you go. Leave a note. I mean, Jesus. I mean, these people are weird, and maybe they deserve some of this. But think of the children.
They've been looking after themselves long enough. They'll do whatever they're going to do. The Raiders were out there anyway. It was only a matter of time. We've got to go. Let's all just go.
Do you know when they're coming? Is
I haven't
it
got a
today,
clue.
tomorrow?
I don't know, but I can't see them hanging around.
Do you know their numbers? What they're armed with? Anything that you can give us?
I'll be honest with you. I as soon as they realised who I was trying to talk to, they were playing along, weren't they? Trying to get as much information they could out of me, and in the end, I think I did more talking than they did. I don't really. It was like I said, it was only at the end of the conversation I suddenly realised a couple of things they'd said, didn't quite twig.
Was it when you realised that one of them was called Raidery McRaidery Face?
Yeah, that's him. You've met him, have you?
Yes, of course, we'll help you. My name is Indiana Jones. All right, what do you think of this?
Well, I think we're all a little bit fucked.
This guy's fucked.
Well, take the bag. Let's take it back to the town. Just leave him here. Give him back their supplies. He can do what he wants if he wants to go.
I think he's made
Gotta
this
figure out a plan.
mess.
I
think he's
think
made
he
this
can
mess.
stay in the caravan, don't you, 12?
I think he
caravan
should
doesn't
come
have a
back
door
to the
anymore.
village and defend
fine.
it. I think he comes back to the village and defends it.
He won't
I think
defend it. Yeah,
I think the raiders will not care who it is that is in the village. He either defends it, or he,
How about he defends his caravan, but we'll take his guns.
he will just leave.
Not if we prevent it.
That's. I mean, if the raiders get here, I don't suppose they will. They will try to take out all of the defenses first. I mean, maybe they try and take out the power, but
What if the raiders get here and there's nothing here to defend? What if we just go into
Burn the village
forest?
to the ground now?
We don't need to burn, You can't burn a whole village down. You don't have enough petrol or anything. What if we
Could be done.
just leave the village, take all the supplies, and just hide in the forest for a little while?
you mean
We could even lure the raiders in. They could get eaten by the hornets.
I wonder if... No, they won't. They're silent ones. If they would maybe consider... What is the word?
sanctuary?
Yes.
I
I'm
doubt
not
they
sure.
would, but you could try.
I think for that to happen, the Aeolians would have to leave behind all of the old ways. They'd have to live. I'm not sure if they could do that. Plus, I don't know. There's a lot of supplies. We don't know when the attack is happening.
What if
Perhaps.
we offer to help them by taking their children to safety? Then they can defend the village.
We know a safe place for all the kids to go.
Yes, and we'll build one also.
Exactly. How about we get in touch with the actual group that's not too far away? Maybe they could come and help.
This is
I think-
true. Laura said they were well equipped.
Let's this asshole can stay here. Let's tie him up in the caravan. Go and talk to Laura. Come up
To
with a
what
plan.
end? To what end do we tie him up here for?
When
Yeah,
the
there
raiders
is
come, they
kids,
can kill
so-
him. It's fine.
But he can be of much more use. I'd rather have
That's
him
food.
defending himself against the raiders, or at least
If he
be meat
wants
for
to,
the
if he
grinder.
wants to stay here, he can. He can help us defend the place. If he wants to try his luck out in the open, with no supplies and no weapons, he can do that as well. I'm pretty sure you want to be alive, don't you, Al?
Yeah, I'd start driving this cocktail stick into his toe again and just say, "What do you want? What do you want to do? You want to hobble around and help, or you want to go alone?"
He squirms a bit,
Pussy.
and he says, "I've always made my own way. If you'll let me go, you can do what you want. The villagers can do what they want. I'm not going to get in the way.
How badly hurt is 12, by the way? Was it 12 that got shot?
I have a light wound.
Wants to go his own way. What do you think?
I
I
just
say
leave him. He's not going to be of any help now. He's not going to help you anymore, is he?
The trouble is, what if he encounters the raiders and he says, "Oh, look, I can help you with the attack," and they say, "Oh, okay." I mean, he's taken a shot at me for just standing in a field he doesn't own.
Well, you won't even
I
have a
don't know,
gun
he
to do
wants
it
to
with,
return.
so...
The
Neil?
raiders may have spares.
Can you do an empathy roll for me?
What, for you? What do you mean?
Yeah. Just do an empathy roll on my behalf and tell me
Okay.
if I succeed or I pass.
Okay. Mono. No,
I failed.
you failed.
Okay. He wants to go it alone. He's shot 12. I think it's fair we leave him in a similar state. And I'm just going to pull my.
Well, I've already shot him.
Yeah, but I'm going to point
That
blank.
helps.
I'm going to point blank. Put the gun to his shoulder or something, and I just pull the trigger. Oh, 12. Sorry about your ear.
Ah, damn it! Give me some warning.
It has the predictable effect. His
He's still
shoulders.
alive.
It's still alive. His shoulders not in a good state. There's blood everywhere. He's screaming at the top of his lungs.
Family.
Can I punch him in the mouth as well? Just half to stop him screaming, and just half just because, like, you shot me, you bastard. Bat.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like a half a knockout, half a shut up dude.
Yeah.
You know, just so I know he's not going to get up and try anything. Just a.
Okay.
I-
So
I
enough
don't
to
know.
maybe not knock him out completely, but kind of stun him.
Yeah, just
Okay.
sort of.
And I feel I should probably just remind the viewers at home that my character has got one die in empathy. He's not an empathetic character, and he kind of hates people, but family is really important to him. So this is his statement that as much as I hate a lot of people and I hate society, you don't mess with my family and think you can get away with it.
This is Phil saying, "I'm role playing. I'm not a knob."
Basically that. I mean, I am a knob, but I'm also not a motor.
Oh, sorry. No, you're not, Phil. No, you're not. You're not a knob.
Thanks, mate. 20-something years, and that's you
I
coming
was
to
a
my
bit late for that one. Sorry.
25 years? Jeez.
Yeah, getting on for that.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I'll say the same as well. Yeah, I've got one die empathy as well. So yeah, family's important, but
Family.
this dies. Are we going to ransack the place? Make sure he's got no weapons,
Yeah.
guns,
Loot his corpse
Ammo.
correctly.
food, water, anything. Just take everything from him, even
Is
the
there
backpack.
like a gas canister in here?
Yeah, let's say he's got one of those little, like camping gas, like camping sort of things.
Not for
So,
long.
so only a small little, not one of the big ones, one of the small little canisters.
That's enough, surely.
Enough to start a fire, certainly.
Mm.
You find basically exactly the stuff that you heard was nicked. So sure enough, in the backpack, there's quite a lot of food, rations, some canisters of water, and a couple of pistols and a rifle and a load of ammo.
Yeah, take it all.
Plus,
Ransack
like I
the
say, he
place.
was clearly packing to leave. So there's a load of clothes, load of traveling clothes, spare pair of shoes, like hanging on the outside of the backpack. He was obviously pretty much ready to go.
Nice.
I don't think I'd deprive him of clothes, but water, food, any rations, anything like that. I gather the batteries are all here as well, nearby in the power shed and stuff.
Power shed. That sounds amazing.
I'm just worried that he'll do something, to it and knock out the power to the village or something. Let's tie him up, shall we? Why not? If the raiders come up here.
I told you this already.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just because I can't hear out of this ear,
Huh?
Exactly. Yeah,
How's your
I gather.
shoulder?
It hurts. It hurts. I need to get it seen to, but perhaps the doc. We get back to the village. The doc will take a quick look at it, and
It's probably not where you got hit either. I've completely forgotten where you got shot.
That was
I'm just sort of like imagining here somewhere in the
Cool.
the triceps or something. I don't know. I'm gonna grab the. I'm guessing there's gonna be some little camping rope or something that he's.
yeah.
Or I guess we had the
It's probably got
cable
bell on,
ties in the
just use
van or
that.
something. Yeah, we'd
It's
just
really
tie him up
humiliating.
securely. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave him. So
It's just really humiliating. Tie him up with his own belt, his trousers around his ankles.
why not? If you're
Take
still
everything.
alive after the attack, then we'll take you back to the village, and then you can answer for your crimes. I don't think I don't think you meant to like bring this terror down on this village, but I still think you're a bit of a dick for shooting me. So see you later, maybe.
And then I shoot at the gas canister. I know in real life would have very little effect, but
Makes a loud pop sound.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a slight smell of gas. It's not as dramatic as
funnier
your
than it should be.
previous. Not as
Is it?
dramatic as your previous arson attempts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
So
gonna
tying
let
it up
Mono
then.
drive. I think back if everyone's ready to go, or I don't know if I wanted to say anything else or
I've
do
got to
anything
change my
else.
name on here. Silly me. Do that now. It'll make all the difference.
So you arrive back at the village, and as you get close, you see that just as she'd told you, it looks like Laura has organised both lookouts and defences, because perched at different points, sort of around the, on roofs of buildings and sort of around the edge of the barricade. Pretty much as you approach, you see 2 or 3 kind of people, and they see you coming, and you can see them sort of shouting back. So they're prepared for whatever it might be. Seeing that it's you, recognizing the van, the doors, or the gates of the barricade swing open, so you don't even have to slow down. You just go straight in. They close them up quick, sharp behind. And you see them being kind of, big bar going across. They're sort of barricading it as best they can. And one of the villagers who you... Actually, let's say it's Gardner. Let's say Gardner comes running up. And soon as you've stopped, he says, any news, anything useful? What did you learn? Everyone's like, Park and Lyre and everyone, they're all up with, they've got their weapons, they're kind of watching out, so they sent me down to see what you found out. And is it as bad as you thought, or can we stand down? Like, what's going on?
Who's got the bag?
We left it in the back over there.
Oh,
Yeah, shall I just say I pick it up and
Yeah.
just hand it over and say,
Yeah.
it
Just that.
was Al.
It was Al. Al may be quite late to the party, but until then, well, we run we find some allies or we fight. But raiders probably are coming.
Raiders. Shit. Run? What do you mean run to where? There's nowhere to run to. That's why we
Not
hit.
here.
Okay, well, I guess it's not my decision. Well, Laura's not far. I'll go and find her, and we'll.
Please. And be discreet. Don't tell anyone else yet. But make it look like you have an important message so they don't become too relaxed.
And he sort of. Okay.
You're not very good at dealing with large numbers of people, are you?
Well,
You are talking to the gardener. He's not exactly the people person of the group.
Well, neither am I, but I know how to not make people panic. Usually.
all right. Well,
Also, sorry about your shed.
well, you did what you had to, I guess.
It was quite fun.
And he turns and runs off to a figure in the distance who you guess to be Laura.
We could have just waved.
I'm pausing so you can cut this out if you want. It's 10:30. How are we feeling? That this could be a point to stop, or we could carry on for a bit. I'm fine either way, really.
I'm okay too.
I've probably got about another 10, 15 minutes of me, and then I'll be dead.
Yeah,
Chris?
probably about the same for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we can leave it on a slightly more interesting note then, I think.
It's going to be a really dull note now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, toilet break for all the characters.
Character.
Yeah. And let's leave it there.
Oh, my character's got really bad wind, so do I have to roll stealth?
It depends if you're trying to be stealthy.
Yeah.
You sunk my battleship.
You can actually get an extra dice in melee combat.
Silent and deadly.
Yeah.
Is that not going to be like a ranged weapon?
Yeah, maybe.
Right. Anyway.
Okay. So he runs off towards Laura.
We could have just waved.
And it's then that you hear the shout coming up from a couple of the people over to the, let me get this right, south of the village. Not it probably matters too much. First of all, a guy's voice, you don't recognize it, a man's voice, shouting out, "Incoming!" And then there's a bell ringing. And then a woman's voice, also from the south, but from a slightly different, "Ready yourselves! They're here!" What do you do?
I didn't mention this earlier, but I'm actually a trained negotiator. Maybe I should go and talk to them.
This probably would have been useful for the last 5 years.
I've not checked my CV for a while, and I kind of forgot I did a training course in that.
You know,
Maybe we can talk them down.
Have you maintained your credits, or will you need to recertify?
I'm probably going to have to recertify after that last situation. But,
Negotiation. And foreign languages. You can negotiate in French.
yeah, if they're French, I'm sorted. Yeah. The one issue, though, before we do talk to them, how about we just send them to the Silent Ones and solve that problem with the power too? That's a 2-in-1. Seeing as we're going on a bit of a murderous streak, I thought I'd put it out there, just as an option. I want to make sure I cover all bases before I talk to anyone. That's all.
So, sorry, are you suggesting we send them to go kill the children?
Or
Hey.
the children will kill them.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure if the children.
I mean, if they
these
get visions, they
raiders,
should see him coming, right?
I'm not sure they'll forgive us.
Oh, that's okay. We're kind of driving the other way.
True.
We're driving on after this, right?
Well, Ira, you are the boss.
And
We are just your humble servants.
you realize you're probably not going to have much opportunity to talk them down when at this point you hear the roar of multiple engines, some being like revved,
Oh, damn.
and gunshots, and what are basically kind of a collection of kind of shouts and whoops and like basically war cries, effectively. It sounds like a number of vehicles.
What are the defenses like where we are? They're not like, I don't know why I suddenly realised this, but they're not like battlements where we'd have to like climb up and to look over a fence. It's just like barricades, right?
It's a range of
Yeah.
barricades. So it ranges from, some of them are just like rusted up tractors, and then bits
Can
of
we
wood, planks, tree trunks.
can
bits
we
of-
wheel over to the barricade and have a look over the edge with scope if I need to? Let's try and pick out what I would think might be a leader to see
Okay.
if there is a person in charge.
The noise and Mono and 12 are going with Ira, or
Sure. She seems to have a plan, and
I'm
I'll
not
go
sure
with
we're
that.
at the vehicle yet. Should we just rev our engine? press the horn. It's La Cucaracha.
you know, I've always thought
Why?
maybe we could maybe turn this into an ice cream van.
you could. So okay, yeah. So you go up to the edge of the village, to the barricade, and it doesn't take you long to get there. But even as you're getting there, the sound of the attackers, I guess, not they're attacking yet, but is getting much closer. And as you sort of peer over the top of a bit of like kind of rusted up metal, looks like maybe it was once part of like a, like you get it's probably a name for it, like metal kind of rods inside concrete to like reinforce concrete.
I know what you mean.
I mean, like that. So it's like a concrete base, and this guy.
It does have a word, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, some of that, and
I think it is reinforced concrete, though, isn't it?
Well, no, it reinforces the concrete, but you're on about the metal bit.
Yeah.
yeah. And so yes, you sort of peer over, and you see what are clearly the raiders that the Aeolians have been worried about. There's a good number of bodies. I mean, at least a dozen, probably a fair number more than that, you would say. Aboard a number of adapted, heavy, probably looks like they're originally farming vehicles. One just looks like a pickup. The others are more kind of bizarre, like farming, like threshers or, some complicated bit of massive farming equipment. And they've all basically been adapted, or they've got kind of bits bolted on or attached to the front. And you can see instantly what their plan is. They've been adapted to be ramming vehicles, and they're just going full pelt down the road straight towards the barricade, and you can see straight away what's going to happen. They're not going to stop. They are going to ram the barricade. And they're all just kind of on top, or they're hanging on, or they're kind of at the back. There's you see a couple of quad bikes as well following along the back. They all seem to have rifles, and a lot of them, some of them are like shooting into the air, and like they're in this kind of hyped up, like kind of woo, sort of shouting, hollering, screaming, burning towards the barricade. You try and identify someone who might be a leader or someone a bit more important. Let's get a perception plus vigilance, please.
2 plus another 1.
Can we all roll? Or just Ira?
Yes, I was the one that was looking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm going to use a party dice
Ira's got
Go for
the
it.
long range.
just to try and make sure I do see. So that gives me 4 dice and a reroll. It's not great. So what was I aiming for?
Sorry, I didn't say. So it's perception plus vigilance, and you need. It's not going to be easy. I think
Yeah.
probably 9s. No handicap. You're looking for.
I got 110.
Oh, okay,
That's all I got. Yeah.
that's fine. That's enough.
Cool.
So on one of the front, so on the pickup, actually, you see someone who, like, that vehicle's in front, which you think is probably significant, and you see someone who just something about his posture or his mannerisms that, as you look, you think maybe he's not the leader, but he's probably someone who's relatively more important. If he's not the leader, maybe he's like a lieutenant or a,
Okay.
something.
I know. Are we near? I guess it would be Merc or Laura to be able to like say something.
So Laura wasn't that far away when you came in.
Yeah, and also
So-
just while we ask the same question, is it? We're not on the roads where they're going to be ramming, are we?
No.
Cool.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the situation is you've got various people kind of perched on, like I say, rooftops or bits of barricade or whatever. And now the others who are around the town, on the other edge of the barricade, are all running in your direction, to join in. You spot Park. Park is up on the barricade quite close to where the road comes in, and you can see him kind of moving quickly to the side because he's realized what's happening just as you have, so to get out of the immediate path. So he's there. You don't see Lyre, and you don't see Merc, but Laura she's not up on the barricade, but she's a little bit behind, and she's trying to sort of stay kind of central, and she's sort of shouting to people and trying to kind of gather information and see what's going on. So she's probably within hovering distance.
Well, in those like few seconds where I'm kind of tracking that person on as the car's coming forwards, can I shout down to Laura and just be like, hey boss, are we going to do this? I'm going to wait to see if she replies before I choose to take a shot or not.
And she finishes shouting something at someone in the other direction. Then she turns around and she kind of gives a resigned smile, and she shrugs and she says, "Don't think we've got any choice at this point."
And then I'll let one go.
Okay. All right, let's get this is not going to be an easy shot. Let's get even for you. Let's go for it. So it's accuracy firearms, of course. And
actually, firearms.
It's gonna be difficulty 9. And
Plus 1 for precision rifle.
Oh yes.
Specialty. I'm gonna use 2 nerve.
Okay.
So I have quite a few dice here. I'm gonna get rid of all the extra ones I don't need.
But you need 3 9s.
So I'm just gonna make note because I've used 2 nerve. So that puts me down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts me down to 7 nerve. Okay, hold on.
That sounds like a lot of dice.
Yeah, but they are all below 5.
Oh.
So this has not gone well. I have 1 reroll, which is a 10. Okay. So I've got one success.
I'll spend a strain.
You're going to spend a strain?
Yeah.
That makes 2.
Use a party dice, maybe?
I think I will spend 2 party dice I can spend multiples, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're
Well,
all good
with
that.
these, weird though it seems, you can spend them one at a time. So you might as well just spend one,
Oh, okay.
see if it works, and then spend the second one. If you need it.
First one did not work. Second one did not work. So I will spend. Do I have to do it all in one go if I use strain?
No, I think the same rule applies. I think you can do it
Okay.
as
Well, I'm going to go up to 2.
okay.
First one fails. The second one fails. It's a 6. So at this point, I give up. So that puts me on 3 short.
It's horrible, isn't it? If you spend the pool,
Are you one short?
like it,
I'm one short, I think.
that's-
I've got 2
It's just
successes.
I've got literally one strain left, and I can't remember what happens if I complete my pool.
And I
of
can't use a strain for my own, can I?
No, you can't.
No.
actually.
I can
Has to be
spend
somebody
another.
else's.
I can spend another
I don't know if
without
you
it.
can.
Yeah.
When your pool's empty, you suffer a 1 dice penalty to everything. Although, I don't know if 12. Oh no, that's to do with wounds.
I'll spend another
That's
if I can.
that's. Are we looking up adrenaline?
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied it for the wound I suffered.
Yeah.
Now that's why I'm like I've got
Ah.
1 nerve, 1 strain, so I'm really edgy about this.
Yeah. Okay, so Mono's spending another one.
I've still got a few left. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That would give me 3 successes.
How many do you need? 4.
No, 3.
3.
Yeah. Okay, so you're kind of handshaking a little bit, and they're moving really fast. It's just chaotic. There's some dust being churned up. You can't quite see, and you sort of hesitate, and then you just sort of take a breath, and you feel Mono next to you, and you just kind of you remember all the difficult situations that you've all been in together over the years, and how you've come through it by kind of working together, and it sort of calms you. You take a breath, and you think, it's all right, this is what I do. You look through the scope, and and it's a great shot. In fact, it's a perfect shot. And there's a splat of red against the inside of the cab, and he just goes down. But the momentum and the sort of battle lust and the sort of hyped up adrenaline is still flowing. The vehicles are still full pelt, and you watch as they collide into the barricade, and suddenly there's noise and dust and screaming, and bits of the barricade go flying. One of the vehicles is slightly kind of diverted by the impact and kind of goes off to the side, plows into a building. The entire side of the wall collapses. Whole buildings are falling down. A couple of the vehicles make it through the barricade into like the edge of the village. The quad bikes nip round the side into some gaps. They get in. The guys on the quad bikes, is 2 on each. They jump off. They get their guns out. One of the buildings slightly to the side is damaged in the impact. You see a wall crumble, and you hear a cry, and you see a figure on top of the building just as it begins to collapse, kind of reach out to try and grab just anything, like a bit of something, secure bit of the building, and they don't manage. And you see them falling down towards the ground, and just masonry and rubble and like bits of collapsed building coming down on top. And just as they fall, you realize by the clothing more than anything, it's Park. And there's a crunch as he hits the ground, and he's just buried in half a building. All the defenders have their guns out. All the raiders have their guns out. It's complete chaos everyone starts shooting. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Oh, that's anything. That just reminded
Hindsight,
me. Go on,
I should
Chris.
have shot the driver.
Yeah.
Hindsight. Yeah.
I was going to say I've got like heavy vehicles and engines, and I was thinking maybe I should just say, look, just shoot there, and it'll just stop the vehicle dead. You know, it'll apply the brake. They won't get through the barricade.
Should have.
Pick them off one by one.
We should have put
Anyone
the
else getting,
armor-piercing
like-
rounds on. Yeah.
Anyone else getting like Mad Max vibes right now?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the boss is
Cool.
actually
Really?
behind playing the music. Yeah.
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 Yeah, the Thunderdome is the name for their bathroom. Ah, that was so much fun. Thank you,
That
Neil. Thank you, Chris and Johnny.
Cool.
That was
Fun as always.
episode 8, part 8 of our Vermin 2047. It's quite a campaign, really. It's been great fun. Studio Agate, definitely worth checking out if you can get hold of it. This has been Wasteland Wednesdays. We've got more to come. So, hope you've had fun. I've got how to talk then. Neil, how can people find you if they would like to?
People can find me at paladinroleplaying.com where they can buy lots of cool stuff. And also on Discord as Paladin Neil. Come and say hello.
Quick reminder, if you go and buy lots of cool stuff, your first order, get 15% off with Dark Orb 15 at paladinroleplaying.com. Chris, how can people find you?
Yeah, you can chat to me on the Discord. I'm Chris Taco on there if you want to chat.
And Johnny, how can people find you?
You can try and find me on the Discord. I'm on there sometimes. Whatever.
You're
whatever
technically
Phil
there.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am there. I'm Johnny on the Discord.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll find me there as Guru Phil. It's been great, as always. I hope you've had fun. If you have, then please hit like, please subscribe. Please send us all of your cool money and all that sort of stuff. That'd be great. Join us on Discord. Support us on Patreon. And we will see you in a mere 7 days. Oh, I also have to ask you guys, what did you think of Oktoberfest? I thought it was amazing. I'm
the
so
best-
grateful for everyone that turned up.
Best day I've had at least this week.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. As far as Wednesdays go, this Wednesday has been pretty good. But Saturday, wow, what a Saturday. It was the best Saturday in the last few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
Oktoberfest. Wow. Mate, you're
yeah.
doing it again next year, I hope.
Oh, I hope so as well. We'll see what the demand is like. But I've got to give a shout out for the 2 Free League games. Well, one of them is Free League Workshop, but there you go. Simbra, the GM for Simbra, I heard amazing things. It was a great game. So thank you, Neil, for running that. And of course, Mortborg was just legendary. So thank you, Chris, for running that. For anyone who hasn't worked it out, we haven't done Oktoberfest yet.
Don't give it away. I thought you sold that beautifully, Phil. I was even going to drop in. Oh, I forgot to wear my T-shirt from it.
Oh, yeah. I've got 3 over there. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the game. We'll see you next week. Bye.